Hey babes, welcome back to Nice Girls Don't Win. I'm Parvati Shallow.
And I'm Amy Bean.
Amy Bean the Dream. Girl,
Aw.
what is going on?
Well, I'm back working out. I feel really good about that. I am trying to figure out when to fit this in my life because it's crazy. Like summer, I feel like is just so crazy for me. But I did it this morning at 5 a.m.
Girl, I don't know how any human being has that kind of discipline. Like a 5 a.m. workout, it's still dark outside.
I know.
You have to like sneak out. Do you put your shoes by the door?
I leave everything at night out on the pool table, and then I change in the dark. I grab a cup of coffee, I grab a tangerine, and I get out. And then I drive in the dark, which scares me. I'm like such a bitch. Like if I was with somebody, I'm like gangster, you know what I mean? Like I can cut a hoe. I'm like, but if I'm alone, I'm like sneaking around my front yard in the dark, like so scared.
Wait,
Like the garage goes up, I'm like, who's out there? It's dark. And so whatever, I jump in my car really quick, lock the doors, and then I drive, and I'm driving and it's dark and I look behind me and like, have you ever looked at headlights that look scary?
Go on.
There's some cars that have scary headlights. They look like they're like mad or mean or like,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It's like a Ford Fusion.
I don't even know what kind of car it is because it's so dark. But this morning it was behind me and it kept switching lanes
It's a
with
Dodge
me.
Charger.
It kept switching lanes with me this morning, and I'm like,
You were being tailed.
by the
Brenda.
scary highlight, the scary beams. Like I was like, this car. There's a killer in there, like just based off the headlights. I was like, oh my god! And
But
then,
also they were tracking you at 5 a.m. Sorry, that's too close for
so that-
comfort.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel you actually. I mean,
Okay, good. But I have like anxiety about like the stupidest shit. And so then I'm like, Amy, because I went to the therapist. I was like, I need to go to a therapist and work on this because it's not enjoyable for me to always feel anxious about safety and things and people. And, I just like, I don't know why. It's not healthy. So
you feel like jumpy.
well, I have kids, so I do at times,
Well, because they're terrorists.
I know.
Standard mom feeling is high anxiety, hypervigilance.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I went to the therapist and I feel like she was like, you are bigger than the anxiety. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I'm, like, so this morning I'm driving, I'm like, I'm so scared of the car behind me. And I'm like, you're bigger than this, Amy. Like, so I move lanes really quick and it's a red light. And I'm like, I'm going to look at this person. I'm going to see who this person is. And I did. And it's like this old grandma. I feel so bad. I was like,
It was like an old grandma going to her job at the post office. They got to get there early to open up shop, dust off the mailboxes.
I'm like, why am I so fucking anxious? Like, this is just, and I feel like I am so excited to talk to our guest today because she started the Parenting Collaborative, which
Yes.
it's like, and I just need to know, am I going to make my kids anxious? Because
Well, I know because they say that the child is only as happy as the mother. So
I'm
it's basically
happy.
we have to set the tone. So if you're just running around terrified that people are going to kill you all the time, are you passing that down? Are they going to inherit it?
Yeah.
It's such a good question. I hope that she can give us the answer, and I hope it's the answer you want to hear.
Are you not an anxious person? I feel like you are so calm, cool, and collected. Do you ever like think about the negative?
Well, I think I am definitely like I look on the bright side of life, and that is how I can throw myself into insane situations over and over again and like survive them and do well, because I always believe like things are going to work out. Also, I'm like, I live alone at my house. Like I have to trust I'm safe and I'm okay and that I can handle myself if any kind of intruder comes in. I got my butcher knife under my mattress, bitch.
Yeah, you're like, I am scary.
No, I really do think, honestly, I did martial arts when I was younger. I learned how to box. I have done like hand-to-hand combat in the ring with people many times. I learned self-defense.
Yeah.
And I think it gave me a confidence in like those kind of situations.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I feel very secure with my physical safety, but when it comes to emotional situations, like my daughter is wildly emotional.
Yeah.
She has these massive emotional swings, and I'm like constantly feel like I'm dodging bullets around
It's a
that.
landmine. I'm with you on that. My kid is the same.
That's where my anxiety comes in. It's
Okay.
emotional anxiety, not physical.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I feel like I can't even get to the emotional, anxiety because I'm just so up in arms about
I want to
safety.
okay, I think for this podcast, I think what we need to do is we got to get you in jujitsu class or something. Let's try it out.
Well, no, I can fight. Just so you know, I grew up fighting my sister. Like
You're from Stockton.
I can beat somebody up if I needed to. Like if I'm that mad, I can fight for sure. But when you are a parent, I don't want to have to do that. And in fact, I've never been in a fight with anybody but my sister. But if you ask my sister, she always beat me up. But
Never a bar fight?
Never a bar fight. I'm not that person. I'm not like a angry person where I'm gonna want to fight somebody. But I will my mom always said, don't hit first, but hit last, which means you better hit him hard. You know, it's
knock him out.
Knock him out. And so I am that type of person that will I will try never to ever get in a physical fight, or I'll use my words,
I have been in a bar fight.
You've been in a bar fight?
Yeah, in college.
Oh my God. Tell me
This
everything.
is what I'm saying. Like, if somebody messes with me, I'll swing on you.
Wait, I didn't know this about you. That's why I fucking love you. Who won?
I did. I swung around her. So she was like, I was with my boyfriend at the time. I was wearing like hot shorts. She came up to me and she was like, "Yeah, spread him, you slut." And I was like,
What'd you
sorry.
say, bitch?
Are you talking to me? My friend was bartending. She worked at the bar. And she was watching this whole thing play out. And then I was like, okay, like, go away. And then this girl came back.
Oh, no.
She came
wants
back
more.
again.
Yeah.
And called me a slut again. And I was like, all right, shut your mouth or I'm going to shut it for you. Standard fighting words.
And you did.
And then she's like, says some other dumb shit. So I pick up my drink off the bar and throw it in her face.
Yeah, fucking bitch.
It lands because, of course. And then she picks her drink up, tries to throw it at me, but I saw that coming. I'm like, get a new move, get a better move. So I dodged the drink, and then that made her really mad. So she started swinging.
It's out of a movie.
My boyfriend stands in front of me, and he's a big dude. I swing around his body. I see nothing. I swing around his body, connect with her nose. Blood starts gushing out of her nose.
Is this during your boxing era?
This was like right around the time where I had just first started learning how to box.
Yes.
But I threw a nice hook around his body, connected with her nose, blood gushes. She's like, her friends come up and they're like, "Oh my God, you broke her nose." And then she runs up to the bathroom. My friend at the bar is like, "Holy shit, you gotta get out of here. Like, you need to leave."
Oh my
God. So
God.
I left with my boyfriend and we're like running down the street. We stop at a bench. The whole like little troll squad of girls comes running up to us. One of the girls that's trying to distract me, she's like, "You owe her an apology. She is a theta and she doesn't do stuff like that." And I was like, "No, bitch. Like, I don't." And while she's trying to distract me, this girl tries to hit me.
No.
And I see it coming because I have good perception.
Yes, you do.
So I bit her again.
Your boyfriend's like, all right.
And then my boyfriend throws me over his shoulder like a potato bag and runs away with me.
This is so legendary. Parvati, you were like in Mortal Kombat. I feel
Okay,
like
but also...
Wait, more?
But also...
In the parking garage?
No.
Oh.
So I get away. And then the manager at the bar calls me after summer break and he hires me to be a bartender there.
At that place? And this is then you go to Survivor and you...
So I got a job from my bar fight.
This is so badass. Like, this is how your life works for you. I feel like things just like magically, they're like, that girl can fight.
Also, it was during Coyote Ugly time, so I was really down.
Oh.
Like, I was dancing on the bar, pouring shots in people's mouths, like, can't
So
fight the
many lives.
moonlight.
I love you. I am down. Sometimes I always text my cousins because they get it. I'm like, I want to beat someone up right now. I'm so mad.
Yes.
That sounds crazy.
I feel that. I feel like there's like
fight
just
in
an
a bar?
intense aggression sometimes that has to come out in fist fights.
Dude,
No, this has been a long time. This was college in 2000, early 2000s.
No, back in the day, people got rowdy. My sister, we were at this like wakeboard festival, and this girl comes up, and she's like trying to fight all of us, and we're like, "Go away! You're gonna please, this is not the place to walk into. And she like swung at my sister, and I'm like, oh, wrong person. Amber is going to kill you. So Amber beats her up.
Yeah, Amber's a beast.
Amber will kill you. And so Amber then feels bad for her because she's all, so Amber picks her up. She's like, now get out of here. And I'm like, that's right. You know, so that's what I'm saying. If I'm with Amber, I can fucking take anyone down. But by myself, I'm like, I don't want to be caught off. I don't want to be caught off guard.
Well, you'll never be caught off guard because you're always looking for it. You're scanning for danger.
So anyways, hopefully this therapist helps me out.
Okay. Well, what did the therapist say? She's like, you're bigger than your anxiety, and that was that?
She's like, we've got some work to do.
Okay, session 2 incoming.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe this parenting expert will be able to help us with the small piece of the anxiety.
I hope so. Okay.
I hope so, too. My emotional anxiety and your physical anxiety.
Physical anxiety, and then just how to raise a
Like a
humble
kind,
kid. Yes.
a kind person.
Yeah.
I just am, I think that what's happening right now is we have an epidemic of narcissism and like insanos running rampant around here where people are just overgrown babies, like adult babies running around that don't know how to deal with their feelings or process their hard feelings, and they just dump it on other people. So I need to as a parent, I think that's where my emotional anxiety stems from, because I'm like, how do I make sure that I'm helping my kid to be okay with the hard feelings?
I love that.
And not take out their hard feelings on someone else.
No, it's a balance. It's like, you want your kid to be able to speak up for themselves and to like take no shit, but also be kind.
Yeah, and don't throw the first punch, but throw the last.
Okay, yeah, there's so many rules we gotta follow. But
today we have someone in our studio that I know personally from a few years ago.
Yes.
We met because our kids went to the same preschool, which was really an extraordinary place.
The best place.
Switched my kid out of her original preschool because it was like, not really doing it for me. And then I found this place called New School West, the Mecca. It was like an oasis,
It is.
a heaven on earth of preschools. Like,
Lauren, I know Lauren. She would only do the best of the best. So I am
would.
not
No.
shocked that you're saying this school.
I got
because-
really lucky because I found it through a friend of mine named Elisa, who owns
Yes.
Den Mother.
Yes.
On
Who I
Abercrombie.
did baby group with like years and years and years ago.
Wait, I did the prenatal yoga with her at Patty's prenatal
Okay.
We're
studio.
so
Oh my
LA.
God, we're all, this is like the most LA
Patty.
intro you can get. If you know, you know, Patty.
Wait.
Wait, let's intro her for real. Because we didn't
Okay.
even say
you
her
intro.
name
Yeah,
really.
Intro.
It's Lauren Greeno, motherhood expert, parenting extraordinaire, owner of the Parenting Collaborative. She is here to help us with parenting because we need help.
We all need help.
We all.
I
There's
need
no
help
answer.
too.
Yeah. Is that why you started this?
This is why I started this, and this is why it's called collaborative, because we all need help. We're all like kind of struggling with the same things, and we're not talking about it, or we don't feel really secure in like, well, what's the answer to it? And there's just so much out there. There's so much research out there that nobody is talking about because it's giving us the answers. We're not doing this blindly, but it's really super dense. It can be really boring, but for some reason I really like it. And I'm like, okay, how do I like whittle this down for like the busy parent to like make sense? That's like, here's the information. This is why your kid is doing this. This is what it says to do. And I'm also trying it at home. And look, this worked. Ha, look at that. And so I just like want to help people out in a collaborative way. Let's all come together. Let's talk about some stuff that for whatever reason isn't out there.
I
It's
share
so
all her
helpful.
posts. I share her posts with you. I share them with
thank
everybody
you.
because I'm a scroller, right? So I'm
Yes.
like, okay, give me a quick tip and let me see if I can apply this. And you did one on like anxious parenting where I feel like I'm the spokesperson for that. Like we did a road trip together and her vibe versus my vibe. I'm just like, wait,
Yes.
they're outside? What are they doing outside
Right,
by
what are they
themselves?
doing?
Like,
Where
why
are
are
they
they
going?
outside
Yes,
by
yes,
themselves, you know? And
absolutely.
it's like, nobody's in this town. But that's what is even scarier. No one's in this town. And I'm like,
Right.
one fucking weirdo can take them on the one and take them
100%.
forever away. And that's where my brain goes.
I know,
Yes.
that's your style. You thought Gabby was getting taken in
Yeah,
Panama.
in
Like,
Panama.
Amy always thinks there's a murderer in the house.
100%. There's always somebody
you
to
think-
look out. Yes.
Okay, good. Patty
You're a
Fitzgerald
freak
said,
of
watch
na-
who's watching
Yes.
your kids.
100%.
You're like, why are you
Patty
looking at my-
Fitzgerald? Like, now put this in my head, and I'm like, who's observing my child too intensely, too closely? And I'm like, I'm watching you.
Okay, so tell us about
Yeah.
that.
Wait, how? I'm sorry. What? What do you mean? They're watching your child.
Okay, so there
Don't
is
freak me
this-
out. You guys,
no.
this isn't supposed to make me anxious because
No,
I
it's
feel like I
not
don't
supposed-
have the
no,
same
it's
anxiety
not supposed
level.
to make you anxious. So Patty Fitzgerald
I
is
do
this
these classes.
really amazing, like, body safety person,
Expert.
in the field, and she said, just notice who's like really into your child. That's an adult, because like they wouldn't normally be like, oh my God, like, let's go get ice cream without your mom. Or like, let's go do this. And I thought of you at the grocery store. And so I like got you this candy or like
It's
something.
a groomer that
Yes,
can
they're
groom
like-
a parent or can groom you. So they're like, I'm going to love this parent so much that they trust me with their kid alone. There was like an example of a pianist teacher who became super into the kid and like made the parent feel comfortable that he was there. He would like do his lessons in the living room in front of everybody, which is great. But then like after 6 months, he goes, okay, we're gonna take this to the next step, and it's gonna be a private lesson where nobody can interrupt us
No
at all. No
parents.
parents. And the wife, the mom's like, of course, go up to the room, And so and then this kid didn't want to say anything because they felt like they would be in trouble because they're not an authority. They're a kid.
And they're like saying, don't tell the secret and like all the things. And so now like no secrets in my house. Like we don't keep a secret. And like my kids are like, why?
Oh, wait, this is
I
like
know.
a true crime podcast now. I'm fucking freaking out. I'm sorry, but like I don't have control. Like my daughter is not with me a lot of the time because I share custody. So I can't control a lot of stuff, which has made me have to let go of control in so many areas. But when she does come home and sometimes she has play dates, they try to run it. She loves to get away with stuff. She loves to be sneaky and she'll grab a marshmallow
kids.
out of the
Yeah,
cabinet
yeah.
and like run into her little room and shut the door with her friend and hide in her cubby. Should I not let her do that? Should I keep the door open all the time?
No, I mean a play date, like let them play in their room and like it also tell her like I see you with the marshmallow. I'm gonna let it slide this time, but like next time, just ask me. And maybe that
Okay.
answer is gonna be yes, and sometimes it's gonna be no. But like let her know that like you are all knowing. You see what she's putting down and what's going on. But like a play date in like a playroom, like she's not bringing the Spanish teacher into her room and closing the door. That's when you're like, no.
Okay, so
Everybody
a
in the inside.
child on child play is okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but like
With the door closed.
sleepovers, that's another thing. I mean, you have a little boy and a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and so people might not want to have their little girl stay at your little girl's
100%.
house because there's an older brother there, And I have 2 girls and a little boy, and I always think about this because if I went on a sleepover, it was always with my sister. My mom's like, sorry, they both have to go.
I love that. Your mom was
She's
smart. She's like, no. Don't take one without taking the other.
But
No,
also,
no.
like, I just couldn't be left out. I don't know, but that's my mom for you. But my kids are too, like, so separate, But I'm like, I don't want my kid to stay at a friend's house that has an older brother. Like
100%.
later, I just don't. I don't trust these.
when
creepy
my
little boys.
son is 14. Yes, when my son is 14 and then my daughter is 12, like I would be like, no, you are not. 16 and 14, absolutely not. Like that's not happening. So no. Or they've got to like both go their separate ways, or like, hey, my son is going to be at this sleepover, and so like your daughter can come over. Just like,
But does
things
your
that you don't
husband
wanna have
think
to
about this stuff? Because my husband's like, Amy, why are we thinking like that already?
No,
It's like,
he's neurotic. He's on like 1,000%. He's
Okay.
like, what about this? And who's the parents? And do they have a dog? And what if Uncle Joe comes over and like all of the things?
Is he a number 8 Enneagram?
No, that's not Nick. Nick is the opposite of that. Nick is like, Amy, calm down. You're giving me anxiety, you know, and I don't get anxiety.
No. I mean, we are the most anxious parents, and I feel so bad for my kids. And then I was like doing research on, can you pass anxiety on to your kids?
Yes.
And it's like, of course you can.
What do you
because
think I got
they're
their nervous system.
feeling everything.
Yes.
And they're watching.
And they're mirroring. Yes. And so now I'm like, okay, now what do I do? And it's like, well, don't like hide the anxiety. Just say, like I am feeling anxious. And these are like the regulation tools that I use, like when I'm anxious and like when I'm feeling this, and this is what it feels in my body. So then I'm talking to my son, who I can tell like has some anxiety over some things. And like when things are getting a little too loud or like we're a little too intense, he's like, ugh, and you can like see it kind of reverberating in his body. I'm like, how does that feel? What are you feeling right now in this moment? Where do you feel it? And he's like, kind of trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I feel it in my stomach and I feel it like in my hip flexors. And then I need a moment and I need like a couple minutes to like calm down and I need it quiet. And I talked to you guys about like being quiet for me. And this is exactly why. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, if you ever feel that way, you can go into your room. Under your bed, he has like a lofted bed. I'm like, he has like a little cave built. And I'm like, go in there for a few minutes where it's quiet. Your sister can't be in there and I won't go in there. And like chill out for a minute.
It's a me time, babe.
He's like,
That
literally
sounds really
get
nice.
get
some me
started, right.
time.
I'm like, I'm gonna
I
go
need a
under the
cave.
bed too.
I need a cave.
Where's my cave? I know.
No, but it's true. We're all just big babies, I think. Like, if you don't feed me or if I don't get good sleep,
Yes.
I
Oh my
am
gosh.
cranky.
The level of self-awareness that you are talking about having is so masterful because you also, I know what your day is like. You are a high achiever. You're on the go. You are put together. You came in here looking so cute. It's not like you're just hanging around the house in your pajamas,
no.
self-reflecting so you can model
No.
this behavior to your children. You have so much going on. So how do you attune to yourself in the midst of also dealing with the chaos of being a parent and a working mom
Sure.
and having your kids have meltdowns in front of your face?
I feel like COVID was a really big wake up call of like, I have no boundaries set in place for like when things get too intense. And I was like, I'm never going to allow myself to feel this way ever again. And I was like, I've got to like figure out how I like can make myself feel better, how I can like take a step back. And like at that time, like my daughter was a newborn. So like there was no like, I'm going to take a few minutes because she'd be like, clearly that's not happening. And I think I've always just been really aware of my body and like when it's like feeling too much. And so now I'm like, okay, I know that when things get really loud, like I don't do really well. And so I need to like be doing the things, or they need to go somewhere to do something, and like setting up our house in a way where like they have their own space. And if you guys are going to like be messy and do a craft and do these things that then just increase my anxiety, I'm going to close that door and I'm going to let you guys do that. And if you guys are crying because one person hit you, but the other person punched me and okay, I've got tools to like, you go take a break over here and you get yourself regulated. If it's even just a minute, you go over here and you get yourself regulated, and just trying to figure out the tools and my children's personalities on what works for them.
Yeah. Because, well, like listening to you, I'm like, it sounds so calm and easy to do, but sometimes I am not so calm and I
100%.
want to be. And I'm like, ew, I feel gross now that I just like was rude and annoying and like mean. You know, I'm like, why'd you do that? You know, and I'm like, why do I need to snap like that? I wish I could just not be so reactive in the moment. And like, because I know that they are listening and going to be like me one day, and I'm like, I need to be
100%.
nice all the time, you know?
But
80%, 80%.
Okay, yeah.
But that's
80%.
impossible. But it's
Okay.
impossible, and I feel like that's why gentle parenting gets like such a bad rap, because it can feel really inauthentic to be like, I am calm all the time, and I'm gonna like speak to you like this. Like that's not my
So
house.
gentle
Like,
parenting doesn't work, or does
Gentle
it?
parenting is bullshit.
No, I'm not saying gentle parenting is bullshit.
I think it is. I do.
I think we're trying to force ourselves.
I think maybe we're trying to force
so calm.
ourselves, but also like Amy said, like I'm not calm. Like we are yelling, we are screaming. Like our house is in constant chaos between dogs barking, this child screaming, like this person's crying, my husband's yelling, I'm yelling. I'm then trying to like rein us back in, and it's a disaster sometimes. And then it's all about circling back and being like, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And sometimes like I don't want to say sorry. Sometimes I don't feel sorry for like you haven't listened to me for 14 minutes and I've had to ask you 17 times to do something. And the only time I got your attention was when I yelled at you and then you freaked out on me. And like logically, come on.
Yeah, so I'm not sorry.
So I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But like
I'm sorry I'm listening to my fairy porn on my podcast. I'm like, let's just check out for a bit. But court of thorn and roses. I don't have children right now.
Yeah. So
you have to like trick your own brain sometimes.
yes, you do. And like, so I have to apologize because like my tone was snappy.
Yeah.
I was bitchy.
Yeah.
I've got 19 things going on and I try to explain these things and like, are they listening? Do they care? Do they understand? I have no idea. But one day they will. One day they absolutely will. And sometimes they model that and I'm like, I'm really sorry I said that. And I'm like, thank you. Like that actually wasn't cool what you said. And it doesn't happen like all of the time, but like it's all the long game. We're playing the long game here and I'm not like looking for it to happen.
You're right.
It's the long game.
That's a good way to look at it. I'm gonna always try to say that in my head. Okay, it's the long game right now, like because I'm so in it every day.
Yeah.
And also, I have very different age ranges at my house, and so the needs are very different. And for Blake, I know that she's probably looking for more attention, so she's been complaining a lot lately. And I'm like, it's probably because she's. And then she'll use the excuse, well, you always only hang out with Walker and Cameron. I'm like, those two need their diapers changed. They don't get to do any fun things. Like Blake is always doing something. And so when she's not doing something, she's bored or complaining. And I'm like, how do I raise a kid that is grateful and not, always making me feel guilty for not doing something fun at that one moment?
I know. The guilt is such a big one. And I know our listeners that are moms struggle with this. And I do, and my clients also struggle with guilt. So what do you say to that?
It's hard not to feel guilty because when you have kids, whether it's one kid, you have 3 kids, however many kids, there's never enough time in the day to do all the things that you want to be doing with them. And like, that's just hard and that's life. And that's how they also start to build resilience. We're not made to entertain them 100% of the time. Like, I'm not your clown. And like, you also need to find ways to entertain yourself, to do this independently, and teaching that as early on as possible of like, this is going to be your time where you do this activity on your own, or you find something that like you really want to do. And as they get older, they'll be able to figure that out. But then it's also a balance of you still have to make the time with them because as they get older, they're going to start splitting off from you. They're going to want their friends and they're going to only come to you when it's like the really big stuff. But you want to put in that groundwork in the beginning that they can always come to you. They can always talk to you. You always have the time. You're always making the time. So as busy as like Blake is with like all of her activities and like friends things, making sure that like she has like her own specific time that is like age appropriate for her. And like, it doesn't have to be forever. It could be 5 minutes. 5 minutes of like quality. I put my phone away. We're not doing iPads or TV. Like we're connected. You and me, we're like reading a book. We're talking about your day, whatever it might be.
Right.
But like just 5 minutes.
And do you recommend beginning of the day so she knows that I've already done it? So later when she's like, you haven't done this with me. I'm like, remember the morning?
We got the 5 minutes.
I mean, it depends
What time
on
of day should I do this?
Wait, maybe should you have a chart that has a gold star and you can stick a gold star every time you do the 5 minutes?
I mean, your
I
own
know how you
your
love a
own
graph.
chart.
I love a visual too.
Your own chart. And like maybe it's like you guys talk about it, like what time you have all these things going on, Blake. Like what time is a good time for you? Like
Yeah.
do you want it? Do you want our like special time and like name it special time in the morning? Do you want it after gymnastics or do you want to do it right before
Oh, that's
bed?
a good idea. Make
And
her
like
feel involved.
Yeah, bring her into it because like she's
the
also
executive.
planning
Yeah.
her day as well and like planning her things. Like we've got kids old enough to like talk about the logistics of things and like bring them into the
Okay.
fold. So
Oh my gosh. Also, speaking of bringing them into the fold and putting them to work, my daughter is nearly 7. And I mean, back in the day, kids were punching the clock at the factory at 5 years old. So when can I put her to work in the house? Like doing chores and
Do
stuff like that.
now.
What should I get her to do?
Set the table,
Okay.
help you put away dishes,
Okay.
help collect trash around the house, like anything, everything. Like they can be doing.
We don't have like
All
a lot of
of these
routine
things. Yeah.
around here at my house. It's very sort of like,
I was just talking to my
Freewheeling.
best friend about that this morning, and she said, my friend has, like, their kids can't leave their room without getting dressed. They,
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, I do not have any of that. Like, she's like,
No.
they have a specific bedtime. I don't have that. They have to put their dishes away. She's like, and I'm trying to do that. But there are little things, like, if we don't have these boundaries, that they can help us do, which is like, for Blake, I'm like, please make your bed because she's like
Yes.
wants a dog. So I'm like, if you can do this for 6 weeks in a row, then we can get a dog. And I know she can't do it for 6 weeks in a row. So I'm like,
that's a long time.
Right?
I couldn't do it
well,
for
I do
6 weeks
checks.
in a row.
And
Okay,
so,
okay.
yeah, that is something we're trying to do. But again, I forget about it and then it's not
Of course.
consistent.
I
Of
don't want
course.
something to be extra work for me.
I know.
But
You know, it's already hard enough.
okay, you guys have to eat breakfast and dinner, right?
Right.
So, hey, I'm cooking the breakfast or the dinner. You set the table. Like, we're going to need a fork and a napkin. Easy
She's up for
enough.
that. She'll do that kind of stuff.
She's helpful.
But I
You have to
told
tell her.
I was like, Amma, my car needs to be washed. I'll pay you $5 to wash my car. And she goes, make it 50.
She knows how much they're paying nowadays.
smart.
She's like, I drove by and there was a 5 and a 0, and so no.
She's a tough negotiator.
But I hear
Smart. I
allowance is
like
like
it.
what was that? Did you guys see that
we
Instagram
do
that went
allowance?
around? The allowance I heard is not good for doing household
because she does want to
chores. What do you-
buy. She wants to
To
get.
buy the things.
She wants to get toys at Whole Foods when we go grocery shopping. I'm like, okay, spend your own money on that.
yeah,
Like, it's Whole Foods is not the place to be buying plush toys,
right? Like, that feels like an expensive place
Okay,
to
so
go. But I mean,
how do we get them to do that?
I go back to like when I was a kid and like I absolutely was like, I empty the trash this week. Let's go, Mom. Give me my money, honey. Like, you know, and then my finance husband will say, like, he got a book from a friend who's also in finance, and it's like, anytime you get money, you have to divide it up into like multiple buckets of you're gonna save it, you're gonna spend it, you're gonna donate it, and you're gonna invest it. And I'm like, oh, with $5? We're doing that with $5. And like they, you know, get to decide their like little amount of things. And I'm like, that, I mean, great to be like money savvy at an early age and thinking about saving and investing
yes,
and all of these things. But that seems like really complicated. And if that's like not your world,
yeah.
that feels
my world.
really
Oh my
not my
God.
world. I'm like, wait, what?
You're like,
I'm like, save it and spend it.
Yeah.
Save it or spend it,
spend
and what
it.
are you
I
doing?
know.
I mean, so I would say, I mean, if they want things, like let's learn about working for your money, honey. Like, let's do little things. I'll give you $5 for like a week of you doing whatever it is.
So I love reading tarot cards.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I was like, Amma,
Where are your cards?
you should. I'll read for you after
Yes.
we're done with the podcast.
So good.
I was like, you could be a child tarot card reader. They pay people to come to parties and
That's
stuff. I
actually
like
cute.
birthday parties. You could read people's tarot cards, and I was like, people, you could make money.
She's
doing
animated too. I feel like she can tell a story,
I
and
love
she like
this.
I feel like she'd be really good at this.
She would be so good at it. So I give her the box of cards and I'm like, read for Auntie, because my sister was there.
Yeah.
And she picks up the cards and she cuts the deck in half and she goes, I'm not going to use those.
Oh. These are not for you.
Not feeling it
These
yet.
aren't
Yeah,
yours.
I was like,
These are
definitely
not
yours.
for you. These are not in your. These literally are not in the cards for you.
She's so cute.
She pulls one card and she goes, ugh, I can't.
Now I'm like, oh my God, my life is over.
Right? You're like, oh my God, what does it say?
I'm trying to give her ideas to make money. She's just not
I
interested.
love
Because she
this.
gets all of her stuff handed to her for free.
Well, yes.
So how much do I really have to worry about this? Because honestly, it is so much work to like prepare yourself for the next phase
Yeah.
of development
Yeah.
that
Yes.
the kids are going through. You have
All
three
the
very different-
stages
you
of
have every
development at
stage.
one
I'm
time.
just getting through the day, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Every day I'm like, okay, I'm doing this again tomorrow. Like, you know?
And you are doing great, and they love you, and they have
Thank
so
you.
much fun.
Oh, we need
and,
to hear
and
that.
they adore you.
I appreciate
so
that. Thank you.
You're doing great.
I know. I can't really hit the bar that I want to hit every day, and I'm okay with that.
I
I'm
think
like,
that you are.
the kids have clean diapers, clean clothes, and for the most part, they're having fun. And that's
They're
most important
having
for
a
me
lot of
is
fun
like,
and with a big smile on
but
their
as a
face.
kid, I was playing in the backyard in dirt. Like, I was playing Barbies. I was making my own Barbies. I didn't have a Barbie house. I didn't have
Mhm.
anything fancy
Right.
at all. My kids, because I'm like, oh, I want to give them
the
everything.
things that you didn't get.
But now it's like they want more things.
All
And
of
they
things.
are like, what's the next museum? Like, we went to the slime museum, and what's another one? I've already been there. I'm like, oh no, this is not like
We're not
I said,
going
Blake,
down the right
You know what
road
I
here.
did when I was younger? Whatever my parents wanted me to do.
100%.
Every weekend, I had to go wherever they wanted to go.
And
I
look
went.
at you. You turned out
I
so
turned out
great.
okay.
You turned out
You're best friends
great.
with Amy's best friends with her mom. It really is.
I love that. And that is the
goals.
goal. That's
Yeah.
That
the
is the
goal
goal.
at the end of the day.
But I made her, work for it, and poor thing. So I'm just wondering, I'm raising a kid in Los Angeles. We all are. So like, how do we keep them humble and kind? Like as Tim McGraw would say.
This is the question of the
right?
century.
I'm like, as a Angelinos myself, I'm like, how do you do that?
Oh, are you from it?
I am. I'm
Yeah.
from Altadena. So like, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think it's practicing gratitude every single
With your kid.
day. Yes, with
What does
your
that look
kid.
like?
So like at the dinner table, like it was a beautiful day today. Wasn't it like so beautiful? Didn't you have so much fun like going outside and like swimming? And like I was talking to my kids just the other day about like we had a beautiful weekend, and there are people like backies, I think, in like jackets. I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but like they were like, really? And I'm like, I know. And we were sweating here. We literally swam all weekend long. And they're like, yeah, that is really nice that we get that. And so it's just like little, like, just dropping little nuggets here
Yeah.
and there. It doesn't have to be like at dinner time, we talk about 3 things that we're grateful for. Just like, we had a beautiful day. Oh my gosh, like it's spring and it's springing outside. And like, look at this beautiful like tree full of flowers.
Okay.
It's just like being observant of like what experiences that we get to have around us each and every day that like we could take for granted. But like, let's
The gratitude
appreciative
journal too.
of
At
it.
the end of the day, I was doing that. I told you about this, but I think it's good for like once Blake writes and can spell.
yes.
She could draw pictures of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Every
you could
night
do
you
a
can. Great
visual
idea.
gratitude picture as like an activity of like, what was one amazing thing that happened to you today? And like, draw me a picture of it.
Okay.
And then let's talk about it.
That's cute.
You could do
I
that
like
as your 5
All right,
minutes
let's take it.
of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I got to do it with
And
her.
you could draw one, and then you guys can talk about it.
Oh.
Oh, you're good at that. Oh my
Boom.
God. You know what? Wait, did you tell me to do this before? There was a time when Amma and I were both having big feelings about some stuff that were unrelated in each other's lives. She had something going on at school, and I had something going on. And I feel like you told me to do this. You were like, just write it down and burn
Oh,
it.
yeah. That's my favorite
Yeah.
thing
So
to
we
do.
actually did that. We wrote it. I was like, Amma, we're going to do something. And you really have to like take charge, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You have to be like,
And be excited about
Yeah,
it.
like-
And you're like, this is what we're doing.
this is what's happening.
Yeah. It's a ceremony. It feels fun.
Yeah, like we're doing
and
a
big.
ritual ceremony. She loves that kind of stuff. She's kind of witchy. She
I
makes
love that.
potions in the tub. That's why I thought the
We
tarot.
do this for, I do this for full moons. I like write out my intentions for the month and then go outside and burn them.
Okay, we've got a big one. upon us.
Okay.
So now's the time to write and burn. But we did this. I
Right.
got this big pot, and she was like, "We're gonna catch our house on fire." Like, well, let's do it safely. We're gonna do a ritual, but make it safe.
Yes.
And so we wrote our things down, and I was like, "What do you want to let go of?" And then on another piece of paper that we kept, we wrote the things that we're grateful for. And she was
Yes.
doing like some animal project at school, and she wrote that. She was like, "I'm really grateful for my animal project at school." And it was cool. And then we lit it on fire and threw it in this big pot. And it was this fun experience.
I love that.
Yeah.
And did she feel better the next day as she talked about that thing that was happening?
We never talked about it again. But she's sort of like, she's very much a kid with her feelings where they come on very strong and very intense. And then
They're gone.
they're gone. I mean, that's how I think we're all meant to be.
I would love to be that.
Well, apparently, the emotional cycle is meant to last like 9 seconds. Like a feeling should just flow through us like a wave in the ocean. 9 seconds, it comes and it goes.
I
But
wish.
we
know.
attach so many stories about what it means to feel sad or
Absolutely.
angry or whatever. And then it lasts forever because we can't let it go.
Yes, absolutely. Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here with us today. I
Of
have so many more
course.
questions. I feel like, okay, so that Patty Fitzgerald lady,
Yes.
she does it in different stages. And I feel like
Who is Patty Fitzgerald?
She's
body
that,
I don't
safety
think
the
I
body
want to know.
safety.
I
Yeah.
don't want to know who she
no,
is,
but
actually.
she doesn't make it. She doesn't make it super scary for parents because like I follow like somebody who like just makes it very like scary. And she's like interviewing like child rapists, and I'm like,
No,
No.
hell no.
She doesn't make it scary.
She's like just she does this thing with her nails. She clicks them. She's so funny.
and she's like from New Jersey or
Yeah.
something, and has like this. Super
Watch who's
thick
watching your
accent,
kids.
and
Watch who's watching your kids, and her nails are clicking, and she's just
Okay.
so cute.
She's
Okay.
great. She's great.
I guess
but
it's probably
But what she
helpful.
does is she does it in stages. So I did a class with her, and it was for the 6 and under. But she does like the next phase, which is like obviously what we're going through next, and like the internet and how to stay clear on that. And I think like there's so many things I can talk to you guys about with or want to know about.
Yeah.
And I think like you just started this. I'm so excited that you're going to
Thank
continue this because
you. Thank you,
I'm a
thank you.
big fan.
We're on the ground floor.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell our
Thanks for coming
listeners-
in.
Oh my gosh, of course.
Tell our listeners where to follow you because I feel like you have so much coming up that I'm very
Yes.
excited for everyone to
Yes.
listen.
So theparentingcollaborative.com on Instagram, the Parenting Collaborative on TikTok, Parenting Collaborative, LinkedIn, the Parenting Collaborative, just the Parenting Collaborative is all you need to know. Come find me. You
And
need
do you
help with anything.
talk to schools and
Talk
parents.
to schools, parents, like anybody, anything that like needs just like more information on what's going on cognitively, psychologically, emotionally, hormonally, anything inside track that like you can't see with your own eyes and you're like, what is going on? I'm like, I got some answers for you. And then I've got some tips that like were maybe discovered in a lab, but work at home in your living room at 7 a.m. when like your kid is losing it or right before bedtime. Like we've got you. We've got you.
Okay.
Anything that makes our lives simpler is so worth it
Yes.
and so valuable. So thank you for
course.
doing that hard work for us.
Oh my God. I love it. And I just want to help you guys and like help me too. Cause it really is grounded in like, help me figure out my child so that I can show up for them each and every day. And they know what it looks like at the end of the day when someone truly cares and is like digging really deep into just knowing you.
Yeah, you're setting them up for really healthy relationships
Yeah.
down the road with that kind of style.
Exactly.
So good.
Thanks, okay. Well, let's all head.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's summer. Let's swim. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks so
Love
much.
it. Of
All right,
course.
guys. If you like that episode, she's like, bye.
See
But we
never.
really, we're like, no, like and comment before we go on summer break. Let us know what you think and what you want when we come back from our break.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.